Well, hello everybody, it is Kyle here with Unboxed Autos, and today I have a rather special vehicle for us here today, and that is the 2022 Mercedes-Maybach. Now this is the S580 version. There's an 8-cylinder version with a 48-volt electrical assist, twin turbo V8 under the hood, which is what we have right here. And then there's also a 12-cylinder version, not quite available yet due to supply shortages and a little bit of timing, things like that, but it is coming. They both make about the same amount of power, which is really fantastic. Super smooth, 9-speed transmission, but some things that make the Maybach set apart from the regular S-Class are going to be a few things on the exterior. First off, we have the Maybach specific grille. We're looking here a little more vertical styling. As you can see right here, this is where we have the sensors for the distance guided cruise control, which works phenomenally across the Mercedes-Benz portfolio, and of course as well in this beautiful Maybach. Now this is also the only vehicle, the Maybach models are the only vehicle to get the star up here on the front as a hood ornament. And then there's also this nice jet streamline here, this coming up the center hood, that looks nice. And this is a two-tone paint color. There are many different paint color options across the Maybach portfolio, but you know, of course, with this specific model, we do have the two-tone, which is specific to Maybach between those lines. So there's this one right here. There's a gold as well. Particularly, I like the full red paint color, but this one, you know, it's very, very specific. Definitely has a very unique look to it. We also have these large wheels. Of course, if anybody's familiar with the history of Mercedes-Benz and Maybach, these are specific somewhat to the the large rolling sedans, luxury sedans, which we have right here. You know, again, they look very unique, very specific look to those. Now, as we come up here, we can see we have these really cool digital, they call them the digital LEDs. We have 3 main LEDs here, beautiful daytime running lights, and they actually can shift, of course, with the road, helping keep everything in view. They also have automatic bright, so it can sense different cars on the road and adjust accordingly between going from high beam to low beam, things like that. Now, the major point of the Maybach is to be a large, luxurious sedan. That's why they have 7 inches of extra wheelbase, which is all for the rear end passengers. And obviously, we're going to go ahead and take a look in there in a moment. But as you can see, the vehicle is very long. And just looking at this rear door here, you can automatically tell that it's a lot larger than a regular S-Class wheel. I particularly like this Maybach logo right here on the side, which is backlit at night with LED lighting. That looks really cool. And as we come around back to the side here, you can see we have the Maybach right here spelled out. This is, a really nice, subtle look. Really not a ton of things telling you it's a Maybach other than the hood ornament and some different styling logos. As you can see, S580 indicates here that this is the 8-cylinder version, not the 12-cylinder version. And yeah, main points are going to be, two-tone paint color options, 7 inches extended wheelbase, and then this silver trim here around the door panels. Now, another thing which we'll get into more in a minute is just all the technology that they put in here, and did the S-Class and of course the Maybach as well, and a few added things in the Maybach to make it just as comfortable as possible. And we're going to go ahead now and take a look here in the back seat. All right, guys, so first off, obviously, it wouldn't be complete, of course, if we didn't have a few Maybach pillows. So you get 2 pillows for the rear seats if you want them. Obviously, it's a little more comfortable. I like to sit in the seat, a little bit more like this. Makes it really comfortable. We also have little head pillows, of course, for your neck. You don't want the neck to get, too sore, so they have that. Cool feature. This is an optional feature. The door openers. So you can go ahead, hold that down. Door opens. Obviously, because opening doors is too hard on your own. And then to close, it's just one press. To open, you have to hold the button down for safety reasons, but to close it, just one little pull on there, and it opens right up. Now, another thing, since we're up here talking about this, the whole entire interior is covered in beautifully stitched leather, even the ceiling, which really makes a big difference in my opinion in terms of quality and feeling luxurious. Just everywhere you look, it's stitched leather, which is really beautiful. Now, this is the executive rear seat package, so they are able to go ahead and do almost a full recline. It's really phenomenal just how comfortable this vehicle is. We also have the little Samsung tablet here, which corresponds to the different screens. We can view everything, navigation, set destinations, which is actually, in terms of functionality, a really nice feature that we can actually set navigation for the entire car from the back seat, which is, again, I really like that function. So see here, it's the entire Mercedes-Benz system that's right here. So for instance, there's the home page. You can view, again, navigation. You hit info. We can view fuel consumption, how much the driver is accelerating or braking, and engine controls here, how much torque is being applied to the road, horsepower, boost, from the turbos. So really everything here, of course, media and radio. Now that brings me, since we're sitting in the back here, to the incredible high-end Brewmeister 4D premium audio system. Now what that does for us is that actually puts what I like to call basically like a subwoofer in all 4 of the seats. So that's that 4-dimensional sound. So you really feel the sound in your seat, which is incredible. Not only does the surround sound do an amazing job with vocals, deep bass, this is truly one of the best sound systems in any vehicle I've ever been in. And it's right up there, if not better than that, that's in the Bentley with the name sound system. It's so immersive and incredible across all volume levels. You absolutely will love it. And yeah, so it's this ultimate comfort back here. That 7 inches of rear legroom just lets you lay back here. You just feel so comfortable. It's absolutely incredible. On the other side, the passenger seat can go all the way up and nice, both here as well. We have these, leg rests as well that come out here. But it's just supremely comfortable. It is truly, in my opinion, one of the most comfortable back seats in any car that I've ever been in. So look at, you can get, just the full leg rest thing going on here. Again, it's particularly comfortable in the passenger side, since the front seat, if no one's sitting there, can go all the way up. But yeah, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. This is a cool little feature right here. You press this button, we can get this to close. It's all automatic. So that's a neat function, I think, right there. We also have tray tables in case you need to get a little bit of work done. You just take those guys out right there, flip them out, and we have a workstation ready to go for you to make your millions as your chauffeur drives you along. We also have wireless charging in here as well, plus 4 different USB-C ports. And of course, we wouldn't be in a Maybach if we didn't have champagne and glass chilling station back there. So nice fridge, keeps things nice and cold while you're on the road. Also works good just for waters too. And yeah, so the back seat, incredible place to spend time. And now we're gonna go ahead, jump in the front, and talk about what it's like to be up in the driver's seat. So, it really is still super nice to drive the Maybach, and that's thanks in part due to just the incredibly smooth powertrain, the 9-speed transmission, the rear steering. Now, the rear steer is not specific to the Maybach, it's across the S-Class line, which makes it feel so incredibly nimble. It's amazing. You'd be like, how can this car do that turn? That's just how good it is. It's really incredible. Maybach here, we have this nice wood on the outer steering wheel here. It says Maybach across the bottom. We have this is a standard S-Class wheel, but again, we have a few different features going on like that. When we have the radio on a little bit, these speakers actually will come out a few inches from their position, which is just kind of a cool visual effect. We have the 3D display here, so you guys can't really tell, but when I'm looking at the screen here, it looks like it's a 3D display, so you can display an entire map view. We have music, your standard things, but we also have a giant heads-up display as well, which can do augmented reality, the sports display, minimalistic display. Really, augmented reality is cool when you're navigating. It shows really large arrows up on this humongous heads-up display, which looks really cool. And of course, you can change the gauge display. I particularly don't like the Maybach one. I think it's a little bit tacky. So that's why I just like the Classic. It's just nice red dials, really crisp, clean, clear graphics. Looks really nice. Moving here to the center media system. This is again across the entire Mercedes-Benz line. This is the latest and greatest from them. This system, I absolutely love it. The navigation looks great. It's super responsive. You have all of your comfort settings right here. Of course, we have different massage functions. We have different seat adjustments. We have side bolsters. They also are dynamic if you want them to be, so as you turn the wheel, the seat will hug you, keep you stable in your seat. We have shoulder adjustments for the upper parts of the seat. Really, you know, again, these seats are absolutely incredible. I also kind of like this display right here, how it shows it kind of like a graph, how you can adjust it however you want across the screen. So it looks really cool. And yeah, it's very Mercedes-Benz. Just how specific you're able to go into some of these little details. Really love it. Ambient lighting. Mercedes-Benz does the best job with ambient lighting across the board. I mean, there are so many different crisp, clean lines in this car, perfect for LED ambient lighting. And as you can see here, there are just an absolute plentiful amount of different choices. And you can even have them change as the car as you drive along. It can change different colors as you're going. It's just a really great system. So really cannot say enough good things about driving this car. The sound, the interior design and quality is just of top quality. And you know, really, with the Mercedes-Maybach starting at under $200,000, this is a fully loaded Maybach. You know, you get the executive rear seat package. There's an additional system which really helps with leveling the car out. I think that's around a $6,000 option as well. With all the Maybachs right on the air suspension, but above that we have this camera system which reads the road. A lot of the higher end vehicles have a similar system and uses the camera to talk to the suspension to try and make it as comfortable as possible and level the car out as you're going across uneven ground. So that's the additional system that this car has. But really, you know, if you compare it to some of the other cars in the market, and obviously if you're buying a car of this caliber, you're probably not super concerned about pricing, but it never hurts to you know, to have a little bit of a value-based vehicle. And while this of course is very expensive, it is, you know, a good value in terms of technology, function, and everything that you get for the price in this segment. So without further ado though, we're going to go ahead and take it on a quick drive and let you guys know a little bit of feedback in terms of driving. All right guys, so really simple to operate. We have this stick system right here on the column. Love the cameras though. Great camera, super clean, clear views. Again, across the Mercedes-Benz line. Of course, it flows up to Maybach. This is the more advanced camera, so you can see things really clearly, like the lines and different views, 3D stuff that they have going on right there. And then hit back to the rear view, and of course 360 bird's eye on the side. Some people ask how that's done. It's just a series of cameras mounted in different positions around the vehicle, and then the computer system stitches in the car since it knows the dimensions of the vehicle, and then it's able to show it right there on the screen. Now, when you get specifically into the Maybach version of the S-Class here, it's so incredibly quiet. It is astonishing just how quiet this car is. Now, of course, that's due to additional soundproofing, but they also use sort of like a noise canceling system along with the speakers and the different microphones in the vehicle to help eliminate certain noises. And, you know, especially when you're driving on the highway, it's absolutely incredible just how quiet this car is. It's not quite as quiet as, say, a Rolls-Royce, but it is very close, very close. Now, another thing, you know, again, this is one of those vehicles you might drive it yourself occasionally, or you might, you know, choose to be chauffeured in it all the time. But when you do want to drive it on your own, very, very easy to drive such this long vehicle, and that's due to the rear wheel steering, which can pivot up to 10 degrees. Now, that really makes taking, you know, tight corners really easy in the city from a maneuverability standpoint, but also from a performance standpoint on the highway, really helps a lot. Now, this engine is extremely smooth, aided with an absolutely buttery smooth and extremely fast 9-speed transmission. It really just makes driving the S-Class really a pleasure, honestly. It's incredibly comfortable and fast. A 0 to 60 time of just under 5 seconds. I think it's about a 4.8 second 0 to 60 time here for this particular 8-cylinder version of the S-Class. And then the 12-cylinder is not terribly faster since you're adding that extra weight to it, but of course it will feel just a little bit more, give you a little bit more oomph in that, you know, mid to low range power band. But yeah, really guys, this S-Class Maybach is just an incredible vehicle to drive in. We love how it drives, and the technology we have, you know, lane keep, which works really well. You just touch the steering wheel, keeps on going. Automated lane change with the blinkers. If you're on the highway, you want that. And just everything works really well. And that's what I think Mercedes-Benz helps set themselves apart from the competition, and especially in this Maybach version, is just how everything just works so well together. It's very cohesive with the technology and all the different things that are in the vehicle. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the review here on the 2022 Mercedes-Maybach S580.